There arises in the vessel of Chokhmah a desire to give to the Creator, a desire to be similar to the light within itself that is completely giving. The light of Chokhmah arouses the vessel to feel that it wants to give instead of receive. This happens at the end stage of Chokhmah and begins the stage of Binah. So at the end of Chokhmah, the vessel feels that it wants to give instead of receive. It wants to be like its creator. It wants to be like the light of Chokhmah and be like the creator, similar of form. And the creator is all giving, so it wants to be all giving. The characteristic of Binah is the desire to give. It would be a mistake, however, to think Binah does not desire to receive. Desire to receive is the nature of creation, does not become nullified. There is a desire to receive in all the levels we speak about, including Binah. Speaking about that which has no desire to receive would be speaking about God. And we have no comprehension of God. Binah has desire to receive, but doesn't want to use it. This is, for example, like on Yom Kippur, when it is forbidden to eat. Our bodies want to eat, but we don't fulfill this desire. Similarly, Binah has a desire to receive, but doesn't want to use it. It wants to be like the Creator. Binah only wants to give. When this desire arises, the Creator shines a new light into the vessel called the light of Chasidim. Chasidim means loving kindness. This light develops the vessel's enjoyment in giving. This is the light of giving. The vessel's enjoyment in giving. What is the difference between the light of Chasidim and the light of Chokhmah? Rabbi Baruch Shalom Ashlag explains, light of Chasidim is wanting to be in complete unconditional service to God every moment because of God's exaltedness. This is the desire to give. Light of Chokhmah means experiencing God. So the light of Chasidim is wanting to be in complete and unconditional service to God in every moment because of God's exaltedness, because of the recognition of the awesomeness, the majesty of the divine. And that is the light of Chasidim, the desire to give and service, to be in service of the divine, because the divine is so profound and magical and amazing. The light of Chokhmah means the experiencing of God, which is the experiencing of the light and the revelation of God's oneness. So I think they'll come to say that the light of Chokhmah, the light of Chasidim, is the light of Emunah. When we've talked before about embodied faith and recognizing the Creator and not wanting to receive the light of the Creator, from the Creator, but wanting only to be of service to the Creator. And so saying, I don't want the revelation of the unity consciousness, I just want to be in service. That is the light of Chasidim, and that is the light of Emunah. The light of Chokhmah is the revelation of God's unity and oneness, and receiving that light and love. The progression we are learning about in the Peticha is, quote, from above to below, and the light of Chokhmah precedes the light of Chasidim. The light of Chokhmah precedes the light of Chasidim from the perspective of our spiritual work, which proceeds, quote, from below to above, end quote. It is the opposite. The light of Chasidim precedes the light of Chokhmah. From our perspective, from below to above, the light of Chasidim, wanting to give, precedes the light of Chokhmah, the revelation of the divine. First, we need to attain the light of Chasidim and be willing to serve unconditionally. Afterwards, the light of Chokhmah is revealed. The higher our state of giving, the more we become able to experience God. So in the spiritual path of Kabbalah, first we have to be like a giver. We learn to give, to be in service to the divine. And then the revelation of the divine, the light of Chokhmah, is revealed. The higher our state of giving, the higher our state of wanting to be in service to the divine and be giving to God and serving creation, the more we become able to experience God. That's the path of Emunah. Okay, this commentary is long for this section, so I'm going to pause shortly. In truth, it can also be the other way. An experience of God causes us to give. In this case, the light of Chokhmah arouses us to give, and we consequently receive the light of Hasidim, meaning if you have an experience of the divine, sometimes that's what brings you into a state of wanting to be in service of the divine. And then you start to want to be a giver, and that's the light of Hasidim that comes from an experience of the light of Chokhmah. Then the light of Hasidim brings us to an even deeper experience of God. Question: we learned that Chokhmah contained all the light. How do we understand there being a new light that was not in Chokhmah? Answer: when it said that in the Peticha that Chokhmah includes all the light, the meaning is all the light of God's desire to bestow goodness. This light of Chokhmah is called the light of the purpose of creation, and this is the light we were created to experience. This is the light we were created to experience. Another light, Hasidim, is called the light of tikkun, of fixing, repair, spiritual repair. The role of this light is to prepare us for our purpose. The role of this light of Hasidim is to prepare us for our purpose. We were not created to be givers. We were not created to give, but rather we were created to receive God's gift of goodness. But in order to be able to receive God's gift of goodness, we first need to go through the transformation through Emunah, of becoming a giver in divine service, to create the vessel that is capable of receiving all of God's light, the revelation of God's unity and oneness. Without first going through that transformation, we're only stuck in the world of receiving in order to receiving self-serving pleasure. The goodness is the light of Chokhmah, the light of experiencing God. To be able to experience the goodness, however, we first need to attain the state of giving. The light of Hasidim develops our desire to love and give and prepares us to be able to experience the light of Chokhmah. Right? 2. The light of Chokhmah contains the light of Hasidim. The light of Chokhmah contains the light of Hasidim. This is because the light is one. The way the light becomes revealed, however, depends on the vessel. In Chokhmah, the vessel wants to receive, and therefore only the light of Chokhmah is revealed. The light of Chokhmah itself influences the vessel to want to give, and consequently, a new type of light, Hasidim, is revealed in Binah. Okay, we'll pause there for tonight. Good stuff. If you have any questions or comments, please paste them below. Have a wonderful night.